Okay, this is a quick tutorial on the graphing calculator for Casios. Even if you don't have the same model as mine, that's fine. It translates pretty well. So let's turn it on by hitting AC. Okay, now this is your home menu, right? This is where you get all the apps. So this is kind of where you want to start. If you don't see this page, you can just hit menu here, okay? To enter this function, enter a certain function, I'm gonna go to graph. Okay, if you see a graph there, because you already have a function there, then that's okay. Let's hit exit, and it should take you here. Okay, now you should see a whole bunch of y equals here, and this y equals, this is how I edit, and I entered x, I raised it, x is here, I raised it to the power of 4, right? Oops. Right? Minus, I brought it back down, right? Brought it back down by moving the cursor, minus 5x squared. Okay, once I'm done writing that, I hit execute. Okay, and that's set in, right? It's in. Okay, now I want to see the graph, so I'm going to hit execute one more time. Okay, there's my graph. Now I see, ooh, I can calculate some extrema. I have 3 extremas there. Okay, looks like a maximum and 2 minimums. So I want to find what the exact point or coordinates for those critical points there, okay? But before I show you that, let's look at the table. So I want to know the points that comprise this graph. So, oh, by the way, neat function. You can move through your window if you don't see your graph by moving the cursor, right? So that's a neat function in the Casio calculators. I'm gonna go back to menu, go to table to look at your table. You're gonna see your function again. You're gonna hit, you see a table here? You're gonna hit table. Or you could just hit execute. And they'll give you a limited amount of X values here. If you don't have the X value you were looking for, let's say it goes all the way to 10, and you're trying to look for 11, right? These are ordered pairs, right? These are the coordinates. So when I have an X, this is my Y. So this is the X, this is my Y. This is my X, this is my Y. So those are points. Say you want to look at 11. This one says edit, right? It's right above this F4. So I'm going to hit F4. Okay. I'm going to edit and say, let's delete it. I want 11. Oops. Hit execute. And now it's in your list here. Okay. All right, so that's how you look at your graph. But if you want to calculate maximum and minimum, you're going to have to go back to your graph function. I was in table, so I'm going to go here back to graph, execute. I'm going to hit execute again to go to graph it. Okay. Once I'm in the graph, I see the graph here in the window. I'm going to go over here. It says G solve right above F5. That's how I calculate maximum min. Okay, so I'm gonna hit F5 and you'll see it down here. Now, let's say I wanna find my minimum, or let's start with maximum. So maximum is right over F2, so I'm gonna hit F2. Okay, takes a little bit to think. Now, you don't have to do left and right bound like you do in a TI. It goes directly there. It's a little bit smarter. Okay, so we know that our minimum, look, my X value is there. 0, 0 is where I find my maximum. Now it looks like I have 2 minimums. Okay, so let's go and find that. Again, once you're here, you want to hit G solve F5, right? And you're going to get a whole bunch of options here. You can also find your Y-intercept, right? Your roots, which I'll show you later. So now I'm focused on my minimums. Here minimum is F3, hit F3, give it a second. Okay, now how do I find this one? It's giving me this one, right? There's my answer, here's my X, there's my Y, the exact point. All I do is move to the right and give it some time. So hit to the right and it jumps over and gives you the other side of the minimum.